and welcome to my live stream. This is day 18 of 28 days of going live. Woo! I'm celebrating by myself. Woo! Well, I'm happy because I've done 18 days and then there's like 10 days left to go. So I think this is like the first time that I've done something like this and gone live every day for like a month. So I'm determined to finish out the month. So today's topic is 18 ways, not 18 ways, this is the 18th day, but today's topic is major ways that meditation changed my life. And I feel like I want to get a little closer to the camera. All right, so I've been meditating. It's like some background about my meditation journey. I've been meditating like regularly for about 5 years now because I started in I started like meditating regularly in 2020, like the end of 2020. And then in the year 2021, in February, I graduated from a meditation teacher certificate course. And I got certified as a meditation teacher in, I think, 12 different styles of meditation. However, throughout my years, I've only really practiced one or two styles of meditation regularly. And the style that I practice most often is mindfulness meditation, which is simply paying attention to your breath. And you can use one thing as a focal point of your meditation. So I use my breath. I just focus on my breath, breathing in, breathing out, and not changing the breath, just noticing how things are, not trying to change them, but just notice them. That's the point of the meditation. And for that style of meditation, you can use anything as a focal point. You can be mindful of like sounds that you hear. So if there's like a fan in the background, you can focus on the sound of the fan going around and around and around. The sound of the air conditioning. You can choose to focus on birds chirping outside. So mindfulness meditation is something that you can apply to different focal points. But the purpose of it is to notice how things are and not try to push thoughts out of your mind, but try to accept what you're seeing, what you're feeling, and not let it distract you. But by focusing on one thing, when your mind does drift off and lose focus and start thinking about other things, you have a anchor, you have a focal point, and you aim to bring your mind back to that focal point every time it drifts off. I have a mint in my mouth, so it's a ginger mint. It tastes good. I love ginger mints. All right, so this is a couple ways of how meditation changed my life. I have 10 that I wrote down on this page, but I might just share only 3 to 5. So the first way that meditation changed my life is it taught me how to be present. I talked about this in a previous live stream like 2 days ago. I talked about on day 14 about ways to calm your mind. One of the main ways to calm your mind is realizing that the present moment is the only real thing. I have my little journal right here. And what I mean by that is that if you think about it, there's only 3 tenses, the present, past, and future. So the past is only like memories. The past only exists as memories that we have in our mind because the past, once it has passed, it's meant to stay there. And once you start to pull the past events into the future to dwell on them, past memories, especially if they're negative, you can tend to relive the same feelings and emotions that you felt in the past. And the past is meant to be something that we leave behind, just like every new day. Like, I don't wake up every day saying that, I don't wake up every day trying to bring the past day into today. I want every day to be a new day. Who doesn't, right? I want to be renewed every day. I want to have a new mind because every single day when you wake up, a new rising, you have new opportunities, right? So you want to leave the past in the past, ultimately. Even if you have good memories about the past, you still want to leave the past in the past because it's the past, and this is the future. I mean, this is technically the present. And then on the other hand, the future is only exists as a figment of our imagination because the future hasn't happened yet, and whatever you think might happen in the future might happen or it might not happen. We know not of whatever is going to happen in the future. So when we have like anxiety, when we have worry about something, it's most likely because we are thinking about something that could happen but hasn't happened yet because we don't know. And sometimes what we don't know can seem a little bit anxiety inducing. However, both the future and the past are not meant to exist within our present reality. They're just not. So whenever we take the past or the future and try to make it exist right now, it's literally impossible because it's not meant to for that. But we try all the time by either, well, we don't try to be depressed, but lingering on the past can induce depressive symptoms and feelings, honestly. And then also obsessing about the future. It hasn't happened yet. It's not even there. It's not, the future isn't real, but that can bring about anxiety. Whenever you worry, whenever you're anxious, it's because you're trying to think about the future. Even though we're not trying, it is something that we can try to control by releasing the future, releasing the past, and focusing more on the present. And we can only do that if we practice every day, focusing our mind on the present moment through something like meditation. That's literally the only way. The only way we get better at doing something is by practicing it. It's the same thing for our brain. The only way that we can practice staying present and focusing and controlling our thoughts and being more joyful and finding more peace of mind is if we practice having peace of mind through not worrying about the past and not obsessing about the future and only living in the present moment, because the here and now is all that matters and it's all you can actually change. You can't change the past, you can't change the future. You can only change the present moment. Know that. And then that's the beginning to having more peace of mind and also having more control over your thoughts. So, yeah, meditation taught me how to accept the present moment. That's basically it. When you accept the present moment, you can be more satisfied with your life because of what I just said. Okay, the second thing that meditation did to change my life was it helped me focus less on material things. Now, I don't know about you, but I tend to like the finer things in life. For example, I'd rather pay more money on a good quality thing that's going to last me a long time than pay like a little bit of money on a physical object that's going to sit there and look pretty for now, but beyond this year, next year, it's not going to last in quality. I like the finer things in life. And sometimes I can get a little caught up in how I look, how I dress, what I wear for the day. I remember I was a little girl in like elementary school or like in middle school, being very caught up in my physical appearance. Because I was always actually like, sometimes I was bullied by my physical appearance. You know, I had a little eyebrow I had a little unibrow right here. I've always had thick eyebrows. I used to have a little unibrow, a little peach fuzz. Kids used to bully me on it. And then, you know, if I didn't have the latest shoes, you know what I'm saying? That also was a point of topic of discussion, right? Oh, your shoes dusty. Your shoes, oh, I'm about to get your ass. You know, kids be joning, like they be trying to roast you. Kids, especially in middle school, they mean as hell. Anyways, so, you know, I used to be really focused always on how I looked, even after that. Even, you know, as I became a young adult And once I started meditating, the physical aspects of my body, the clothes that I put on, whether or not this hoodie looks good with these pants, it really didn't matter as much. However, my hair looks, it really didn't matter as much. I stopped worrying about trying to have my outward appearance be pleasing to the eyes of other human beings who I really don't care about and they don't really care about me. However, when I started to meditate daily, regularly, it made me more focused on the work that I need to do inside to make myself a more evolved human being every single day. A more like an increasingly involving person every single day on the inside. Because that's what really makes a difference on how you grow. Whatever you put on the outside of your body has nothing to do with your ability to control your thoughts, your ability to have autonomy over what's in here. You can change, you can get more money, you can change your clothes, you can have the freshest shoes on. It will not change how you feel about yourself. Literally, it won't. And then once I realized that, I realized I need to do just as much work on what's in here than the work that I was doing to maintain my physical appearance. And it's so crazy how the things about us that we can't see are the things that need the most work. You know, we spend so much time on our skincare routine and our hair care routine and our wash day, our nails, and our gotta get the eyebrows done, gotta get the lashes and everything. I like jewelry, I like rings, I like, at the same time, really, what does that add to my mental wellness? At the end of the day, not a thing. So it's so interesting to me how human beings think that by looking better on the outside, we can fix what's inside, and that's totally backwards. So I knew at some point I had to be focusing more on the inside, and what's there is going to help me have more joy on the inside. What's on the inside is going to help me be more happy, have more peace of mind, and not even worry as much as what everyone else is doing. Because the world will keep revolving whether or not we like it. We can keep up at whatever pace we want. We don't have to keep up with the pace of the Joneses. You know how they say keeping up with Joneses. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses. You just have to keep up with whatever pace you want to keep up with, and that's it. So yeah, that's the second thing that meditation helped me with. It's helped me not really regard my physical appearance as highly as I once did. Another thing meditation helped me do is help me be more calm. This is kind of a given since most people start practicing meditation to be more calm, to have more peace. And it's so funny how if you ask anybody who knows me, they'll say that I'm one of the calmest people ever. And I think that's true. I think probably yeah, that's true. That I'm one of the calmest people that I know too. However, that doesn't mean on the inside I don't have my own problems. I think that the issues that I usually have are some things that nobody else will ever see. And that doesn't mean that I don't need to practice being more calm every day and being more mindful every day, which is why I do practice being more calm and being more mindful because I know that I need it. And now being more calm through meditation has made me learn how to have more self-awareness so that when I am emotional and these emotions are emotions that could affect other people around me. For example, if I get angry in public and no one wants to see Lauren angry in public, I mean, no one. I'm like the Incredible Hulk. I mean, I'm calm, but if I get angry and that anger comes out, nobody wants to see that. So, I have to manage that because sometimes I'm angry and people don't even know because I can keep it in. I'll say like a little caveat to keeping things in is there's a time and a place for emotions like anger and other negative emotions that could affect people to be expressed. And if you are not in a safe space for them to be expressed, like for a lot of people, work is not a safe space for anger to be expressed, especially if you look like me. So with you have to, and most people who look like me do understand because this is our day-to-day reality that we just have to, we've always been taught to regulate our emotions, honestly, I think. However, some of the ways that we keep emotions in and what some of the ways that we think is healthy to regulate our emotions by masking them, even when you do have a safe place to release them, like with a partner who loves you or with a family member or friend who you trust. Even when we have a safe space to let those out and talk about those things, we often don't because we still don't feel safe in those spaces or we feel like we're not in tune with ourselves. And like I said, it takes a lot of self-awareness to be able to release what you're feeling in a tasteful way, especially if you're in a place that you feel like you can't hold it in. And we shouldn't have to feel like we should hold our emotions in. Sometimes the physical place that we're at is going to remind us that you're just not safe to express any of the emotions that you feel. And then you have to have your safe spaces, like your own room, like your own friends, family members that you trust, therapy. I mean, there are many safe spaces that we can find. Art forms. See all this art? I did that, except for this one. That one's from a paint and sip. I did not paint it, but somebody gifted it to me. But finding different ways to, personally for me, express myself, and I express myself in so many different ways, in so many different art forms, has given me an outlet to release the emotions that sometimes I don't know where to put, to release the emotions that sometimes I don't know which safe space will allow me to dump these here. And it has allowed me to express things that I don't know how to express, but I know that I feel. So, emotional release has been a really prevalent thing that I've learned how to do because I meditate. And because I meditate is giving me so many things: the spirit of discernment, to trust people with my emotions, the spirit of discernment to know like what I'm even feeling and understand myself and understand my emotions and understand my triggers. And it's also given me an outlet to do those things. I mean, sometimes there have been times where I've sat down to meditate and then 10 minutes or 15 minutes into it, I start to cry. Even if I don't understand at the time why I'm crying, or I don't know if I feel sad or happy or angry, later on, things unfold for me and I understand why I feel those emotions and where those emotions are coming from. So, I mean, there's so much there emotionally that meditation has helped me with, indirectly or directly. So, another thing, this is a really, really big thing that meditation has helped me with. Meditation has helped change my desires and it's made me want new things out of life. Yeah, I think every human being all the time, everywhere, struggles with things like worldly things, you know. You know what things you struggle with because you know yourself. And I know what things I struggle with because I know myself. There are some things that aren't healthy for us that we struggle with, and we know that we need to give up doing. We know we need to give up certain habits. We know we need to give up certain desires or wants that we have that aren't fruitful, that aren't wholesome, but we want them anyways because we're human. And I will definitely say, even like everybody will always have those struggles. I mean, everyone, even when you learn to, I guess, cope or get over some struggles that you have, some things you'll always struggle with. Other things you may get over, wanting those things that are bad for you. But then once you get over that, you want something else that ain't really good for you. And meditation helped me not indulge in my distractions. Honestly, it did. So I think a lot of people, because we know ourselves and we know what we struggle with, we know what our distractions are, we know what our vice is, our Achilles heel is, and our weaknesses. We can identify those, and they distract us. Most of the time, they distract you from, excuse me, from doing things like reaching your goals. So during meditation, what's happening is you're focusing on one thing and you're noticing when you get distracted, you're noticing how to refocus your own mind on what's most important, which is what you're doing, meditating. And because of this cycle that meditation allows me to do, focus, 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 then your mind drifts off. Then you notice your mind drifts off. Then you focus, 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 focus. Then it drifts off again. Then you're like, oh, my mind has drifted off. Then you focus, 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 focus. And then this cycle of coming back to focus, 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 it's strengthening your mind's ability to notice that you're distracted, not judge yourself for being distracted. This is the important thing. This is the important thing. When you notice that you're distracted from something, don't judge yourself. Don't feel shameful. Don't feel guilty. It's not even necessary. We don't need to feel guilt for anything. We don't need to feel shame for anything. This is where people get caught up because we're like, I'm doing something bad. I'm thinking something I shouldn't be thinking about. I'm guilty. I'm a bad person. I'm this, I'm that. And we start to like label ourselves when the only thing we are is human. But meditation has literally taught me that the whole cycle of meditation is about not judging yourself for like not knowing how to meditate. Just like in life, when you're getting distracted from your focus and you notice that you're off course, you don't need to shame yourself. You don't need to guilt trip yourself. We waste so much time and unnecessary energy doing that. Just get back on track immediately without all that shame and guilt, because that negativity weighs us down and we just don't need it. We have enough negativity in our world and in our life as it is. We don't need to put it on ourselves. And honestly, seeing us as like having that woe is me mindset, it drags us down even more and keeps us from getting back on track. But literally in my meditation teacher training, I was taught that when you meditate and then your mind loses focus, don't judge yourself. Don't be like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this. No, it's not necessary. because it's not even true. Just notice it and then do what you got to do. Get back on track. Literally, that's it. Meditation has taught me not to judge myself. Meditation has taught me not to feel bad and to be kinder to myself, literally, to be kind to your mind. Be kind to your mind. I need to get that tatted, man. That's the second time I've said this about a saying that pops into my head. It's really true. It's really true. Don't beat yourself down on something that you know you can change. Ooh, this is the thing. If you know you can change it, why you beat yourself up about it? Just go ahead and do the change that you need to do. Be the change that you want to see. And just change it. If you know you can change it, why complain about it? Just change it. We waste so much time complaining. Just do what we know we can do and pull ourselves up out of this mental drag that we often find ourselves in when we complain about things that we can obviously change and we can obviously do something about it. Then we do something about it and then we put ourselves back in a position of power. So yeah, that's something else meditation helped me do. All right, so I'm going to talk about one more thing that meditation helped me to do. Meditation, the last thing it helped me to do was it helped me to attract better situations in life. It helped me to attract better people in life. I've realized that throughout the past couple of years that the situations and the circumstances that you often end up in life, they are highly correlated with the people that you surround yourself with, and the people that you surround yourself with is so super important. I think in times when I found myself being in very temporary relationships, i.e., relationships meaning platonic friendships, romantic relationships, whatever, when they're very short lived, I've realized I have a lot of short-lived friendships, relationships. Especially if they were like a very, very close person to me. It's very short-lived. I can only think of maybe two people that are very, very close to me that I've been friends with for years and years and years, that are super close. And the reason that I think that is because when you get close to somebody and they're like an intimate space for you, they highly, like, that person highly influences you in a way. I know that I'm highly influenced around the about I know that I'm highly influenced by the people around me, and then the people around me inspire me. The people around me inspire me. So if, the people around me aren't doing their best to be the best versions of themselves, then that interaction kind of has to be short-lived, because if I'm continuing to do my thing and evolve and grow as a person and evolve as a human being, and maybe that person's just a little bit slower at that process than I am, then most likely it's not going to be an even step up, and there's going to be some abrasion there, some conflict. So we have to eventually start to separate and go our separate ways. And at first I saw that as like, I was like, that's weird, that keeps happening. But all in all, it's because through this process of learning how to take control of like what's happening in my brain and have more control and autonomy over my life, because of it, I realized that the people who are around you, if they're not striving to be their best like you are, or they're just not, they know that they're not doing or making a positive impact in their own life in some way, or at the same capacity that you are, maybe they are not supposed to be as close to you in proximity, because that could really affect the way that you show up for yourself. You really do start to think like the closest people around you. So when you start to separate from people who don't have the best interest in themselves, or who don't have the best relationship with themselves, who maybe don't love their life, who speak negatively over their life, and that impacts you, sometimes we're not even able to see how the people around us are infecting kind of shit, kind of Sometimes we're not able to see the way that people around us are affecting the way that we navigate our lives until they are out of our lives. Until we can take a step back from those people and realize, oh, yeah, actually, this person was affecting my life in a negative way. And we can only see that when we step away, because when we step away, your life you start to elevate in some type of way. Like some opportunities come running towards you that at one point you were chasing after those opportunities. Now they're chasing after you, or you were chasing after this freedom and peace of mind. Now it's chasing after you. But it only happened after you let this person go. Or it only happened after God removed this person out. Either way, I've learned that through practicing mindfulness every single day, by practicing peace of mind, by practicing having joy, by practicing not judging myself, by practicing being my own friend, by practicing being mindful of what I say to other people and how it impacts other people, by practicing being mindful of trying to be kind before I try to be right. By practicing all of these things, I've attracted better situations in my life and better circumstances in my life. I've been able to change my life with the help of God. God drives the boat and I just steer. And I'd be like, where are we going, God? Okay, we going left? Okay, let me let me reroute. And yeah, that's definitely one of the largest impacts that mindfulness meditation and like just practicing this routine has had in my life. So, yep. Let me try to go back over these because this was a really, really good chat. If you're watching this on the replay, give it a thumbs up. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up, definitely. And also watch the previous day's live streams that I have. So the first thing that meditation changed in my life was it taught me to accept the present moment. Super important. Number two, it helped me focus less on my looks or on material gains. Just helped me focus on what's inside more than what's outside. Number three, it helped me to be more calm. Number four, it helped me to not be indulged in my distractions, and it changed my desires. And number five, it helped me to attract better situations and relationships. And then a bonus one is it helped me to not judge myself and be kinder to myself and be kinder to my mind. So that is it for today's live. Thanks so much for joining me for this one. And what questions do you have? What did you learn from this live stream? What can you take away from it? Comment down below. And I'll be going live every day for the next 10 days. All right, y'all. Thanks so much. Peace and blessings. Peace.